Welcome to another installment of Fan Talk TV. I'm your host, Chulo Chules. Today we'll be reviewing the season that Manchester United just had with Mourinho in office, and let's go exactly into that. I'll be joined by my guest today. Fellas, introduce yourself.
I'm Malcolm. Yeah.
I'm Ngoni, MJ.
Tamuka, strong United fan.
Welcome, gentlemen. Today, if you could each individually tell me exactly what you thought about our season.
I thought it was a very shaky season. You know, Mourinho being Mourinho, as a very arrogant guy, as we all know. But I think he had one thing in mind at the end. It was a gamble. That's what it was when it came to Europa. You know, because his main aim was to actually try and figure things out with Man United, especially with the history that they had with bad coaches and where they actually fell down to. So, Mourinho being Mourinho, he's a guy that actually wants to put his own team together instead of actually building teams. And I found it to be a slap, especially from the beginning of the season, whereby we all know Man United, we hoped that Man United would be back to their old Man United form, which was the fiery, attacking Man United. It here and there it was, but I think hopefully next season will be a lot better.
True.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe our expectations were a little too high?
I actually think, mainly the season that we had on the pitch was actually a letdown from actually the players as well. For example, I'll give Rooney for an example. Actually, probably Mourinho thought Rooney was going to give him more than what he did on the pitch,
yes.
than what he delivered. And so I think we had a lot of inconsistent players. So we also, as the fans, thought, you know what, we're going to do good because Mourinho is here, but the players actually did let us down. So I think we over-expected a little bit,
Because it was his first season.
Yeah, it was his first season. I personally, I think on the pitch it was not good, but overall, I would take whatever we got as United than whatever any other team got in the, to come out with 3 trophies. I think that's.
You're counting the Community Shield.
I'm counting the Community Shield, so I think it is pretty good. It is pretty good.
Well, for me, the first time I heard that Mourinho is joining United, I knew that this is our man. Because I mean, if you look at it, if you look at a club like Real Madrid, where Mourinho was, there's too much involvement from the top. Like what's his name, Perez. Chelsea, too much involvement from Abramovich. Whereas United, they don't care. They just want trophies. So with Mourinho, he can take number 9 from Martial, and the Glazers, they don't care. So for Mourinho, I think going forward, he is going to stay longer than 3 years, and he is going to bring the glory back to United. So Mourinho is our guy. Even the achievements that we've had, it's all down to that guy. He's done a great job, and
the players that we brought in. Zlatan, Eric, Mkhitaryan, Pogba. Do you think they've delivered?
Look. Personally, right? I think Mourinho put so much hope in the players that he just brought in that he overlooks the current players that are there. Because of that becomes a downfall, especially when the players that you have need to be on the pitch and perform. Because that's on a training ground, the players already know that, listen, it's a mentality that all the hope is on the other players. So why am I even performing? Why should I perform? Even though you do get some players that actually try and step up, but for the ones that have been there, it kind of becomes it becomes a slap for them. For one, like Pogba, for one, I believe that he's played as a holding midfield. He should be played as a forward, attacking midfield. He's being played
more as a number 10 around that area.
Number 10, number 8 type of area. He should be played in that position. But he plays as a defensive midfield, which shouldn't be the case. He's best in the front, and I haven't really seen his value. That's for me. For the money that they paid for him, I haven't seen his value.
So you're saying United bought potential?
They bought potential. That's what they did. They bought potential with Pogba. I mean, he can be a much better player, but Mourinho is just playing him out of position. And I do not know what the issue is with him and Rooney, but I still believe that Rooney is still vital to the team. But obviously, there's as soon as something is said behind the scenes, players' mentalities change and the morale drop. Everything.
Don't you think that's more media driven than the actual attitude? Because, like we were saying, with the 4 players that Mourinho bought and he trusted, you can also look at now saying, I know these players, I haven't coached them, but I know the mentality that they possess. It's the United team that needs to work with me, you know?
I think personally, speaking about Pogba, looking at the numbers, actually he didn't do bad, like for his first season. I think he's pretty decent. There's more to come from him, and I actually think Mourinho knows that the position that he was playing in is not his right position. Because if you look at the last 2 games, the Crystal Palace and the Ajax game, we actually saw Pogba moving forward than he never did. And in those 2 games, he actually went on to score. So actually, he knows. I'm sure it's just because Mourinho this season he's just trying to play it safe, and just get over and done with this season, and then now next season just begin to build from that. So I think for me the one signing that I really wasn't really happy with was Mkhitaryan. He does score, but I think he was a little bit inconsistent in terms of his playing. Bale, I think he's good. He's still learning the ropes for United and all that stuff. But I think it was a good buy. It was a good buy. So Bale and Pogba, I'm really happy. Of course, there's more to expect from them, and there's more that's gonna come from them. And yeah,
Zlatan.
Yes, I was actually thinking about Zlatan.
the Lion.
With Zlatan coming into United, he brought that confidence that had been taken away ever since what's his name? Sir Alex Ferguson left. So yes, in as much as you would have a captain like Rooney, he's got that influence, but Zlatan also, came with a new vibe, a new way of belief in himself and also in the teams around him, and which is something that I think Rashford leveraged from. So that also benefited. So I think Zlatan, it's unfortunate that he got injured, but I think he's been a very, very influential figure. And even small things like taking free kicks. Rooney you'd say, okay, he's the captain. He scored the most goals in the club. But Zlatan, when Zlatan comes, he'll take that free kick. So Zlatan, I think he was a good buy.
Okay. The only question that I have is he gonna come back next season?
Would you like him back?
I would like him to come back, but I would like him to maybe not be the first striker, but maybe to just be, like in the background, maybe second half, bring in, Zlatan and, just to give it that, that power,
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want him to be the first striker because I think he's a little bit slow, and, I think it would slow down because he's like a stationary, striker where you have to feed him all the time. So, and he doesn't have that much speed because he's old.
I personally think, with that said, I agree with that, because the thing is, as soon as that happens, you also increase the confidence of the other players, the team.
That you have around you.
It shows the captain, that the coach has confidence in you as a team, instead of just having confidence in one player, Because if you're putting all your trust and weight on one player, it doesn't really work out best.
That's true.
I think one of the best buys for me was our defender.
Eric.
Yeah, that guy.
He's a soldier. He bought a soldier and he bought a potential leader in Pogba. He bought a leader in Zlatan, and he bought a player. If you look at him, I think Mkhitaryan is more confidence driven. He needs to be reminded.
Yeah.
And I think with player management, because that's another vital thing with Mourinho, with what we've known about players in the past with Sir Alex Ferguson and previous coaches is you reprimand the players in the change rooms and in
Yes.
practice. When you go to the media,
Yes.
it's a different story. You always protect them, you know. But with Mourinho, he singled out the players. I think for Mkhitaryan that actually did help. After that City game, he was out for nearly 2 months
Yeah.
of no football, and I think he came back as a better player and as a better teammate to the rest of the guys. Became more vocal. Do you think that did help with his man-to-man management?
I think with Mickey is as you said, he just needs to be reminded how good he is. He's a great player. He's just probably the because with the EPL Premier League is not the same as any other league out there. It's a lot tougher. You know, you have a lot more games in a short space of time, so you need to be able to have that type of stamina, you know, to actually perform. So I think this is the first season. First season for new players that have never been in the EPL is always going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
Following season, hopefully that actually works out, especially with Mourinho. I mean, Mourinho is a tactician. That's for one. That's for sure. So surely he has something up his sleeve, you know,
True.
to actually outperform everyone else next season.
Looking at our season, we had the most number of draws we've had in forever. We had the most insignificant streak probably in English football history. We were 25 games undefeated, but we were still sixth, fifth. What do you guys think of that? Like, Old Trafford has always been a fortress, and we drew 10 games at home. There were 3 0-0s, 4-1, 1-1 draws. What is it that we are missing at Old Trafford?
I think actually it actually is a reflection of exactly the areas that we need to fix. The fact that we went on to not concede, but score. It means okay, defensively we were good, you know. So at least that's a building block, you know, it's a starting point. We know okay, our defense we're really good, but then we actually really need to now fix on the attacking side of it. Like I said earlier, when I think the problem that we have right now as United is we have so many average players. As United, we don't have those. Back in the days, you have
game-changing
players. Players that you knew that they could come from the centre half and go on to score a goal single-handedly. But we don't have that quality, and I think it's also because of what we've gone through the past years, where we had like 2 coaches, coming in. They come in, bring in their own philosophy. And that does something to your player, because remember, now you're playing under someone who's telling you to do this, and then now next season you have someone different. So I think we also don't have that stability. So I think the draws were actually attributed to the fact that we need to fix our attack.
Our attack, that's very true. Looking at the season and the players that we have, if you look at your Herrera's workhorse, you're looking at Fellaini, he was consistent in what he was doing. He's not a fan. I don't think any of you guys like it, because even it took me a while to actually understand what he's actually doing on the field. So with the players that we have, Damian, Rashford, who do you think is your most improved player?
I mean, talking about Fellaini, I remember posting not so long ago that I wish someone could love me the way Mourinho loves Fellaini. Because I don't understand why this guy loves him so much.
No love.
Isn't that what Mourinho's looking for, though?
The thing is, like with Fellaini, I won't lie. In the Ajax game, I saw a side of him that I haven't seen. There I was like, I took my hat off for him for the first time to say that, listen, you played your game. The way he held the ball, the way he got through players, that for me, I saw another different type of Fellaini.
I think it was the experience, the attitude, or it was everything just coming together.
I don't know what it was, but if that's him, if I can have that type of Fellaini, I'll be happy with Fellaini. I think the one thing that actually got me upset, that made me not like Fellaini as much, in the beginning was the fact that he'd lose the ball now and again. He wasn't the most trustworthy guy with the ball. You know, as soon as he has the ball, he kind of slowed the game down because he wouldn't know what to do with the ball. The only time when he's lethal is when he's in post with his head.
But that's also another thing. We guaranteed Fellaini's going to get a chance in nearly every game, but conversion rate, you know.
Yeah, but what's the point of actually scoring, but you're losing the ball at vital points, you know? You need to be able to score and also be able to hold, make play.
I also think my problem with Fellaini is I just feel like once he's in the team, we actually stop playing and we start just looking for Fellaini, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's like every midfielder is like, oh, where's Fellaini?
Yeah.
So long ball. So we actually
The
stop
goalkeepers,
playing.
the
Yeah.
defenders as well, they just...
So we
looking
stop
for
playing
those long
football. Like
balls.
we stop actually, you know, creating chances. We're just looking for where Fellaini is, you know. So I think that's my main problem with.
Yeah, well, from my side, I think, okay, this is my perception. I think Fellaini has put in a good shift this season compared to the other seasons that he had when he was brought in by Moyes and during Van Gaal's season. I think this season is actually, you know, done a good job. But I think Fellaini is like a guy that should maybe put in, we are 0-0 at Old Trafford, we need a goal. You know, put him in 80 minutes or 70 minutes. Then people can, because we would have tried everything to cut through in the middle and stuff, and then we put in Fellaini and start, you know, those long balls. Not for him to start. I don't think he's that type of player.
Yeah.
And who's your most improved United player of the season?
Well, for me, I think Marcos Rojo has, you know, put in a good shift. I mean, when he came in Van Gaal's time, So when Mourinho came in, he never really had faith in him. But when he started partnering, I think was it Jones?
Yeah.
You know, they created a formidable partnership, and you know, for as a player and a defender being trusted by Jose, I mean that comes for something. So I think for me, Rojo is
For me, it has to be Damian. I think when he came, I think the first 2-3 games he did very well, and then he just took a dive, and we never saw him again. But actually, this season he's come up, you know, especially on the left side, you know, as a left back, he's done very well. So for me, it would be Damian.
I would say Mata. I mean, compared to his other games, especially under Mourinho, didn't like Mata. He never liked him. For him to outperform to a point whereby Mourinho decided, you know what, I'm keeping this guy. It doesn't matter. I don't like him, but what he's doing here right now.
Was it because maybe of his work ethic?
I don't even...
Or they just forgetting their relationship, because we knew there was a relationship issues prior to Mourinho getting there, and we were all like, is Mata going to stay? But when you look at also his work ethic, I think he helped him become a better player.
Yeah.
You know, it was that mentality that I think he was probably missing when he was at Chelsea, which he didn't mind, you know, selling to one of his rivals. I think it was a mentality that he didn't see.
I think like my brother once said that, listen, Mata is one of the most unluckiest players there is, you know, because there are times whereby he performs, but he's underrated, you know, and Mourinho didn't see any value in him, unfortunately, back then. He was moved, he wasn't performing, he was performing here and there in a couple previous seasons where he was in Man United, but then this season, his work rate, this guy actually...
Well, the second highest goals as well.
Dude.
And also to just put, you know, to have a mind shift that, okay, he's a new manager coming in, he doesn't like him, I don't like him. You know, for you now to just go on the pitch and, you know, play a game, I think that was quite formidable. And also for him to have started in that Ajax game, for me that was like, oh, okay, it seems like Mourinho actually thinks highly of this guy, despite the fact that almost every single game that Mata started, he would get substituted. So mentally it can bruise you as a player, but he just put that aside, and he's professional. For me, I think he's a player that would want at Man United. I've read some of his blogs. I don't know if you guys know that he writes a lot. Beautiful. You think that this guy is English, but he's Spanish.
I think that him and Herrera
Yeah.
have worked their way in terms of communicating with
Yes.
the fans. They do that on a regular basis.
Yes. So Mate has become one of those Manchester United favorite players. So I think, for me, I think it would be a plus for us to keep that guy.
Yeah. And who do you think is your player of the season?
Definitely has to be under Herrera.
Under Herrera.
Yeah, I think he's been one of the, I think if not the most consistent player that we had at United.
And also looking at the number of shifts he put in
put
as well.
in,
He,
like-
you know,
And I also like, I think he also puts, like even off, he takes care of himself, you know. Like he doesn't have many injuries. He's a player that you can actually literally trust, you know he's in. And when he's in, he puts in the work. Like he is on the ball. And
the shift he put in on Hazard.
on Hazard, like that was just amazing. Because he shut him down. Like Hazard did not play in that game.
I don't think we've had a player mark a man out of the game the way that Herrera did since Park Ji-sang days, because that is what he did.
He definitely left him with him in his pocket. Like, he went home with Herrera in his pocket, with Hazard in his pocket. So I for me, he has to be. And I deservedly think that he deserved to be the man of the season because he put in the work and consistently, you know.
Yeah.
And also I like you can kind of sense a player's heart, you know. Herrera is Spanish, but you would feel that, you know what, this guy's like English, man. He's got this United.
at home.
He gets
He's at
it, you know.
home.
He gets the whole United culture. He gets what we're about. He gets, you know, I don't think he's in it for the money or anything, but he's there because he loves being at United and he loves the club.
Yeah.
So
Well, for me, it was Valencia, and he's originally a right winger, but him changing positions, becoming a right back. I think that was a good shift, and even his crosses, the assist that he has contributed, and him being a captain, you know, in a final, Jose saying, "Okay, go and lead these troops," you know. I think for me, Valencia is put in a good shift. I would have said Herrera, but there's one side that I don't like about Herrera. He the way he reacts when he gets a card and all that's underneath the hat. I don't know, but yeah, for me, it's just not the play, but personality-wise, I think if he can change that as a player, Herrera, I think he could be one of the United captains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Geez. I actually thought of Herrera as well, I won't lie. And since you mentioned that he has that understanding of the English EPL feeling, the fire of Man United. Fire. He has that. He has it a lot. He's like I see him and Mata as one and the same. It's just that Herrera is a bit more fired up as a defender. Because he does get fired up. He feels the game so much that he's fired up. You know, he goes for tackles. He doesn't care. I mean, Herrera's not the biggest guy. You find him taking balls from big guys, you know? And you see how fired up he is. Like he really wants to be in the game.
That's true.
But I just feel as though he gets cards. At times he shouldn't get cards, you know, because of his fired upness. He doesn't calm himself down.
And do you think it's maybe the role that he's been given? Because Mourinho's always had those players that are antagonists.
Yeah.
He had Oscar at Chelsea, that guy that was influential, could make moves, but he'd always be the one with these niggling tackles here and there. He also had Pepe at Madrid. You know, I think maybe it could be the role that he wants from him.
I don't know if it is, but I mean, Herrera's been performing. You know, he's performed, and I mean, it makes more sense if you want those type of players that are big in size. You know, that are able to get the ball away from someone. That's easier to have a player in size to get a ball away as a defender, like Pepe. He was a massive guy. You know, not the smallest of guys, not as small as Herrera. Herrera's the smallest guy.
But he also had that fuse.
He has that fuse. The thing is, he has the fuse. But I just think it's a bit of a dangerous game. It's dangerous to actually have a player like Herrera playing big matches where you actually need to just be in the pitch because you're not sure
Yeah.
what's gonna happen next. For me, like I think my best play, like Flincher for me. Oh, jeez, like he was rated the best in the EPL, if not the world right now. You know, and he's a brilliant player. He's for me like from the get go. This guy
He's been
He's
consistent.
been consistent. He's a consistent player. But Eric, for me, I've seen Eric. Eric is, I mean, he's the only guy, he's the only defender that I see in our team. He is the only general defender in our team. There's no chance that you're going to get the ball away from this guy or go past this guy. If he does, if you
And
do
he
manage...
puts his body on the line.
Puts his body on the line. If you manage to go past him, he backtracks, gets the ball, or he does some smart move to actually pass the ball accurately. Like his composure is one thing that actually makes me say that he's our best player. Because he'd have the ball, unlike other players where they have the ball in the back line and just kick it away into the middle of nowhere. You know,
that's
he
true.
actually holds the ball
Smaller.
And he
sees
looks
it,
up.
and small.
But sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
My second best player, Romero, he's an unsung.
Oh yeah,
That,
yeah, Romero.
More
Romero.
time, more game time,
Yeah.
EPL.